And we are fixing some bad art, among other things. So before we get onto this glow up the humans, we want to get, so we did the Banshee Cry. That's there. Obviously, I think we're going to need some kind of visual effect for the debuff. But again, we don't want things to be too noisy. It might just be enough that here is a Banshee. You understand that it does debuffs, and there it is. So let's wait until we play the game and just feel like when we're playing it, do we need to see some big visual effect appear when the Banshee does that? Maybe we do a full overhaul on how buffs look, because at the moment they're sort of invisible. But maybe we could have some kind of very subtle effect just to help, besides the effect it has on the character that's been buffed, just to have more visual feedback. So Demon Shield for floating shield and wall. Demon Shield for floating mirror. Okay. Yeah. So here's our weapons. Whip, Demon Shield. So did we add whip here? No, so we still need to do that. So we are looking at getting better at this. So there's humans, icicle, tier 2 allies only, green beans, no, black beans, no, spicy beans, yes, tis a weapon, tier 1, tier 2 allies only, demon bow, and we also want the whip. And we don't need to have any information. I'll look for a single, copy one that has a single name, just so it's easier to find and replace, and we go whip, and this is our opportunity to do the description, which wasn't really on the agenda, but damages and buffs units. Have I even programmed that buff in yet? I don't think I have. Whip. Suck you, but no, we haven't. So what does that do? So we go add buff. So yeah, we're kind of moving backwards a bit. It's kind of like, this is where I'm at. This, like, I've saved all these little fiddly things to do in one session, and that's what I'm doing. So we have our, yes, but we don't have our, so let's call this whipped. And what does whipped do? So I think it would be, armor damage, speed. Like the basics, I think it would be more offensive stuff. So speed, damage, attack speed. I think that's good. Speed, damage, attack speed. Again, we don't need to overthink this. This is going to become very clear to us what these should be as we play the game. Okay, so there's whipped, and then we go down to remove buff, which should be easier to find. Buff, remove buff. Okay, I'll just look it up. Remove buff. And we pop it down here. And we make sure that it's negative as we're removing the buff. Might have been a better way to do this. Thinking of stats as a, like you could find a stat, and might have been an easier way to do this, but this is how it is. It works fine. And while it's gotten quite bloated and weighty, that is everything that we have planned for the game so far, except for maybe a couple buffs that we haven't thought of yet. So that's whipped, and we're going to need a visual for whipped. And yeah, okay, so I need to pop that up in add buff. Make sure that's there too. I need to go into my Because again, all of this might change, so I'm just trying to get it done as quickly as possible, without worrying too much about like getting everything just right. You know, there's a balance there. So yeah, we have gone fully backwards, and we can look. I mean, just succubus. Could have picked anyone. And we go to our sprite renderer, and in here, and we look at the prefab. And in here we have Banshee, Cry, Plague, Whip. So our mainline ones: Banner, Drum, Staff of Command, and then Anvil. So yeah, it should sit here, whipped. And if we imagine, so let's turn it on. So let's say we've got our undead buff. Oh, should they not be Did I name these ones? I did. Okay, yeah, so if we've got all three, we've got our banner, which is the blue, we've got our drum, which is the red, we've got our staff of command, and then the next one, so I need to like make all of these slightly bigger. This is our like mainline demon buff. So we go blue, red. So you'd think the demon one would be red. And then charmed is like a pink overlay. So then whipped, I think we can actually go ahead and use the pink. So let's actually use that same pink. Or no, let's use a kind of heavy, sort of like that. And then this one would be 104. Yeah. And then can we see that? Yeah, we can. So in the rare event that you would have all of the buffs, that's how they appear. And -1, -2, this would have to be -3, -4, -5. So sadly, I don't have a better method for this. Just because not all of these buffs are final. Like guitar is not in the game at the moment. But I guess just for the sake of like consistency, I should just do this. -6. And then at what point do we end up behind the floor? What layer is the floor on? I can't remember. And then scroll of inspiration. But these are just for this type. So 6, -7. And then marked totem, shadow, banshee. So shadow is in a different league. That's just always there. Plagued. Shouldn't shadow be on by default? I think I might have switched it off by accident. Plagued. So they follow different rules. Some of them are little kind of outlines. Some of them are overlay, like color overlays. Some of them are like the shadow is just always on. That is the shadow. And plagued. Plagued has the little banshee thing there. Confused. Oh, I think that's because it's got the character. So we do actually have hero. This would look... Oh, no, not that one. This one. It's the guy who did it. Haven't seen the new demons for a while. Yeah. Yeah. Just letting you know that he's the guy who did it. Okay, so then Plagued is kind of in a league of its own because it's got the overlay and the overhead sprite. But we don't have to worry about sizes and stuff there. So here we go, whipped 104, so this would need to be 105, 106, nice, 107, and then marked is obsolete, but also just an overhead icon. So if we have all of those 4 halo types, well, let's and with the anvil, and with the guitar and the scroll, you can see all of them, except you can't because this should say soldier. Now you can see them all. Lovely little rainbow. That lets you know that you've got all the buffs, meaning you've kind of broken the game somehow, because that should be incredibly, incredibly rare to happen. But there it is. So we can turn. So we need to do one more thing, just within my kind of not exactly beautiful system. I need this renderer over here added. That just lets it know to change all of these sprites to the same one that the character sprite renderer has. Got a bit of an Alex Jones gruff to my voice today. Okay. Right, yeah, so one of the things we need to do is fix this soldier, make him look more interesting, which should add a lot more character to the game as we go. So that's gonna be big. But let's work through our list. So I think that I did. So that's whipped, taken care of, handled, done, sorted. Whipped. Good. Then we have upgrades, has the whip, damages and buffs units. Damage, speed, and attack speed. More powerful whip. And then we can say some like common ones about succubi and keep them under your thumb. Yeah, cracking. I don't know, just random at the moment, just so there's something there. Just doing this first pass of like, I guess the way I think of it, and I think of it with a lot of designers, that like if you're molding a piece of clay, like if you wanted to mold like a torso and a face, you would start by just putting the clay into place, and then you start carving the details. But for now, I just kind of want the shape of the nose, I want the shape of the lips, and then later we'll go in and kind of put in nostrils and stuff. So just to explain where we're at, and kind of just trying to let creativity happen at the same time as well. So we're going to have in here, let's start with weapons. So yeah, demon shield, and we're going to need sprites for them. So we go up to, and we very cleverly, so this is spicy allies only. Oh no, there's unused. So then we have our whip, and then we have, are we going to have a sound? No, I think we just use existing sounds. So we take demon bow, so we're going to have two things. Demon shield. So let's just change bow for shield. And then we're going to do demon mirror. Except we're not even going to add the sprite there. Okay, so then down here. Yeah, so this will use just the shield effect and sound in each case.
Grown several channels for the sake of selling them.
Stop it. It's my YouTube video to watch later, and if it's like, I should just close the tab and I can get back to it, but I kind of worry that I'm not going to remember to watch it, and I was getting into that video, so yeah, watch it later while I play some Duckov. Okay, so that's our Demon Shield, and it is using the same everything as the others, except now we say Demon Mirror. Except we're not going to use, so yeah, it's probably didn't need to mirror effect. Where's that? Okay, yeah, we've got mirror as. Oh yeah, I put that in already. Because that, of course, that is actually a weapon. So we will just use that, except we are using... Why don't we have a Demon Mirror Spray? Did I not call it that? Oh, because we're using... Of course, because we're using the Demon Shield Spray. So actually, didn't need to change that. Demon, let's just call it. Let's just do it manually. In fact, it is all the same spray, but you know, may change one day. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, we're still using this mega nomenclature, but you know. So then we have our upgrades, and in this case it is just informational, so we can really just copy what we did with whip, and we say, just so it exists as an upgrade, mirror. Oh, and faction should not equal current faction, because the faction, if I remember right, to make something not appear as an upgrade, you just have to say that it does not have a faction. So allies only, yeah, faction equals null. Just double checking with myself. So just need to make sure to do that, because otherwise it will come up as an option. Okay. Yeah, so we will just copy this again. So there's whip. And we want Demon Shield and Demon Mirror. Demon Shield, Demon Shield, Demon Shield. And while I'm here, I can write a quick description. So yeah, I mean, it's a shield. tidying up my setup while that compiles. Did we give a shield to the... Oh yeah, so we would need... Yeah, so... Did we do that for the wall? Demon wall. Demon wall was one of the ones I was like, I'm not sure about this. Is this a good kind of character to have? And then I drew it, and I was like, yes. Yes, this is fun. This is cool. Okay, and what's he got? He's got demon shield, so that's locked in. Good. Okay, so I think the last thing to do to get that working, and of course I may run into errors. And there may be more stuff I have to do to get this working that I haven't considered, which I'll find out quite quickly. Once we start trying it, and I'll just see all these like empty sprites, and I'll see all these problems occur and whatnot. So we have our whip. And while these are all the same, I'll still just order it like this, just so that if we ever did want to have more epic versions in each iteration, we've already got that set up. And then Demon Shield's just a little wispy thing. And yeah, that's it actually. What about the Banshee Cry? Oh, okay, we did that. Nice. All right. Okay. Oof. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay. Did the days list. Only 20 minutes into the afternoon session, and I'm already feeling like, okay, need to catch up with myself, or let myself catch up. Don't know what I mean by that, but it's like glow up humans. So it's nice to sort of mentally prepare to have like to be able to sleep between sessions, to like mentally prepare. Because now I'm like further than I thought I would be today. So I need to kind of adapt gears. So here we have slightly improved Beanie and Sean. His hair's a bit different, has a few strands coming down, gives it more character. We've got shading from the hair. Here's our soldier, Mark II. So this is what our soldier looks like. He now has stronger eyebrows. He's got lips, shaded lips. But I think maybe one of the things that I considered was that maybe the... so we'll take this color. First of all, shading under the helmet. But also, this helmet is a bit whack. It's a bit whack. It's a bit too basic. Right? So what I'm thinking of... And I really do think that, like, having the shading under will add to it. But what is the shape we're going for here? So we'll just make a clean sprite here. And I think, like what am I thinking of? I'm thinking of like a Warcraft 3 soldier. Like the... God, I should know. What's the place? What's the human city? I shouldn't... Stormwind. Bloody Stormwind. Okay, so like... But yeah, here's our Stormwind guard. And we've kind of already done this for the knight. But not really. I think the knight could probably do with a full redo. The paladin's fine. The paladin's fine. These are fine. These actually have character. These are some of the later ones. Although we could do some shading under the glasses. So let's do that. Because I think this one is fine. And I might actually have to like shade these individually. Hopefully I can kind of do a bit of copying and pasting. Okay, and then yeah, just a bit of shading around the hair. Light, subtle shading. I mean, does that make sense? Would that go? Or should it just be under it? One way to find out. And then, yeah, I don't think that's necessary. But like here, yeah. I think it just adds a bit. And certainly here. But if the glasses remain mostly the same, so I can just paste these in chunks, and then here, yeah. Certainly the shaded glasses do in fact add something, and I think it would be easier just to take this whole section and then correct it. So just reduce the eye size on the earlier ones. And I certainly think that that's added something. Oh, we're still on the hat layer. Oh, well. Yeah, that is the hat layer. That's fine. That's expected. Yeah, so that's definitely added something. His hairline moves each time, so I'm going to have to shade that each time. So we take our shade here, and we just... And just to kind of emphasize how thin his hair is, we'll just do the corners. Like that. Just follow that rule set. I think like straight away, the shading makes him look better. So like already that's progress. So this is what we're doing in this little session here before I get bored and want to go do some exercise and play duck off, is to just yeah, give these guys a bit of a glow up. Because I've definitely learned some things since I started doing these. And the demons now look the best, when actually, if anything, should be your best foot forward, right? Not your best foot right at the back. And so we need more of this here now on the base. Yep, straight away, I think that looks better. Just gives him a bit of a lip. Gives them more character, gives them more gravity. I don't know if we should have a darker tint in the hair colour there. And then I'm sort of thinking like almost to emphasize his baldness. How do you do a bald shine? So you follow the contours of the head and then you need a little triangle inside. It's hard to get that because it just looks like a white streak. What if it is full white? 255. I think that it would be on this side. It just kind of looks like a bird shot on his head. But it kind of looks like more proud bald. It's like he's proud of what he's done. I really enjoyed doing this one. It's like telling a little bit of a story. You've got this engineer. He's, you know, not doing great. He's working hard, and then he's really working hard. He's losing his hair, and now he's finally gone mad. But he's also on like 6 figures, so he's kind of happy. It was worth it. And so, what can we add to this? I feel like all characters should have cheekbones, and that I kind of need to do it by feel. And so, yeah, this one does have quite sort of gaunt. So by feel, I mean I just kind of wobbled it. Kept that organic nature. And so if I took this and... yeah, and I think it does add something. All characters should have cheekbones. That's a rule. It adds so much. You know, there's a line between detailed, effortful, and messy and overcomplicated. But I think straight away this guy has way more depth than he had before. That little shine is a nice touch. And I think that's essentially what we're doing. We're just kind of going through these earlier characters and just seeing what we can do to make them feel a little bit more fleshed out. So Sean's looking good. Beanie's looking good. Beanie doesn't have cheekbones. So if she did, they would be, I reckon they would be like very subtle. Yeah, just gives her a little bit of, you know, I don't know what exactly. So here's our soldier without the hat. This is a blank one. And so I want to get this shape because I think this just looks like a broken, like an egg cup. You know, like it's not quite doing it for me. If there's one way to improve the way the soldier looks, it's the helmet. So let's get this shape down. So I'm going to use my line tool. I'm going to grab that black here, go to the hat layer, and I'm going to try and get this shape as I want it. With attention to like symmetry. So yeah, like straight away, kind of thinking about which parts of the face I want to match. Because those big like McDonald's eyebrows, they're not doing it, are they? But it might be a very similar type of thing, but just with, you know, so I'm not looking at the Warcraft Lord of Run Soldier helmet anymore because that is a bit too chunky. Maybe I think it does actually work well for something where we you know we're not this is a one of many soldiers. And then on this kind of helmet, how does it sort of peter out? Sort of like that. So we go triple. No, this is a triple, and then quad, and then we sort of leave the head. And then the outside is like, so before I sort of did quite a good job of just, like I think I copied and pasted the outside of the head because I wanted the lines to be exact, but we don't really need to do that here. But are we looking for like a round helmet? Like if we just match the contours of the head, I think we kind of end up with that same problem of the helmet not really doing what it's supposed to in terms of like looking like a helmet. You know what I mean? Like it needs to sort of not quite match the shape of the head. It needs to match the shape of a helmet. So I'm kind of liking this. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of do this, and then I feel like that's very blocky, but let's just use this color so that we have the same, so that we're kind of comparing like for like. And straight away I think we lose the bean quality, but I think the contours, I think the inner contour is good. Because I feel like we do kind of want to see the face. That's kind of how it evolves. Okay, so let's... I just need to make a copy. Let's just delete the outer edge of the hat. What's up, Astro? And then because if we like fully mask the face, so let's go in again. So we'll make another one of these, except I will delete this portion. And what I'll try and do is kind of I think just because of the way I've like shaped the head, it's going to be tricky to okay. And then if we're kind of taking this Lordaeron soldier, this is it Lord? Yeah, I guess it's Lordaeron, not Stormwind. And we've kind of got this very slight gap, although we wouldn't at this resolution, we can't see inside the gap. Okay. So then kind of really in the experimentation here. And if the face is like, yeah, it's this bit that needs to be kind of a bit blocky, with the head, with the top part kind of largely just matching the contours of the head. And let's see how this goes. Okay, well that's a good start, I think, actually. So if we did something similar and said like, just again using my references here, being slightly cheeky there, but and then we've got a sort of line. So I'm kind of looking at this little footmen. Where we've got this line here. Yeah, so we match the contours, and then maybe it's actually like this bit that comes down isn't right. So I'm just going to make a copy and delete that. And then maybe we just have it come down just one, like that. And then his eyes can do the rest of the talking. Maybe it should even be... Maybe we're showing too much eyebrow, and that's kind of messing with the image. But I think we're closer there. So let's see where we're at, because I feel like we're hiding the face, but that might actually be desirable. Because these really are supposed to be like dime a dozen units, you know, like these are expendable soldiers. They don't have a character. They don't even really have a lore. They're just basic soldiers. There's really not much to say about them. They're not overzealous. They're not underzealous. They are whatever you want them to be. So they just need to be, you know, they're not. We're not trying to say that these are the soldiers of some corrupt regime or anything like that. So we and they're not soldiers of like some great benevolent one either. They're not some super advanced society. They are just humans. Okay, so if we say that this is our metal, which we do kind of keep up with, so this is our metal color, maybe that's what needs fixing. So what if we took this and really desaturated it until it's almost gone? I kind of feel like I'm going to prefer that to the blue of the characters. And then what we have is, if we have it, we should have our faction blue, which really I should have saved, but you know, if you've been watching the stream, you know what I'm like. I'm a bit chaotic for that. So we make a new one and we import the characters, the weapons, human weapons, and we find our banner, because that is our decidedly human blue. And it's not on the palette, so I'll just add that to the palette now. And unfortunately, I can't just copy it from here. 69131201. 69,301. No. 201,131. No, that's not it. But we can edit it. 69,131,201. Okay, and again that can change, but yeah, we're doing colors, and I can just grab a bit of that. Like, it's on the palette now. It won't have saved here, but it will next time I open it. So yeah, again, we'll just make a completely fresh one just for that. And then I think we do actually want the black here. Can't get that. Bit less noisy, bit less distracting. Yeah, okay, I guess it'll be there to there. And then this actually then goes up. Being an artist is hard. There's so many little things here that I think are throwing it off. Like, I think it's this bit. These lines here, they don't quite match. I think this would be gone. This wouldn't be there. And I think actually we did have something quite cool when it was a bit lower down. Maybe even like from here, if we just take from here, just knock that down So if I can, so I'll just kind of save and copy, and just try and do this line a bit better. And then we would take our shaded color. So can I just grab this color, please? Thank you. And if we really went all, so that's, yeah, and then we really like darken up the insides. We can even like I don't know, because I think I quite enjoyed drawing their faces. But maybe all it is it's just feeling a bit flat, because it is indeed flat. So we take this and we do our shaded metal, where I'm just going to kind of so now that it looks a little bit less flat, does it feel better? A lot of it is like attachment to the old way. Of like, I'm just so used to the old soldiers. And this is going to be like, this guy's going to be on the cover, this guy's going to be everywhere. So I think if I'm going to put effort into any of them to really nail the look, it's got to be this one, right? Not even talking about making it look pretty. That's like a, you know, an impressive art piece, but just the direction, just the, like, is it consistent? Is it sort of clean to look at? I kind of feel like the whole mouth is shifted a bit too much, like that way. It kind of ends up off the center of the chin. Like the chin is here. Oh no, that is where the chin is. Okay, yeah, that is very much in line with the chin. What if we brought it up a little bit? Kind of looks less, looks a bit more standard and basic, although it does feel like everything is shifting a bit to the left, when if anything it should be shifting to the right. So let's try that, and just kind of go through the process of sewing it back together afterwards. And yeah, we'll just grab you, move you over here, and we'll grab you, move you over here. It can't be dead straight, but this line should be... And then do we need like this? Because I wonder if it's the shape of things or if it's just like it doesn't look great to me because it sort of feels like it lacks some depth. And I think one of the ways to add depth is shading. And is that why I feel like it's not like doing it for me? Like I feel like this is a bit odd. Like should this be just that, should that end up being a straight line? And should this end up being a straight line? Like that. It's kind of not too difficult to edit it actually, is it? Like the straight line maybe feels more natural. Go to the face, and then maybe there's more around the eyes. And maybe the whole thing should just be... No, we have it like generally dark, but with light on it, which is kind of what we were getting. So let's just continue with that. So do a full square around the eyes, and then maybe we can do something like the top of a nose. I mean, I feel like this is working. At least I think it's more interesting than it was for sure. I think it's like we're definitely in the realm of improving what we had. And this is like front page stuff, you know? Needs to be spot on. Like doesn't need to be like, oh wow, look at that. It needs to be like, yeah, that's a soldier. Yeah, it's got something. We do cheekbones on the helmet. No. So then we look at that, and then we look at the Paladin's very strong in my mind. Yeah, it's got more of like a crusadery shape helmet with the eyes kind of popping out, and he does actually end up with cheekbones, like he's sucking the helmet in somehow. But here we have, like, it's got depth. There's something in the eyes. And then, of course, the big question, as always, is how do we evolve that into a more intense version? So I think, yeah, eventually... So what do? We can do, like... I think it needs to just sort of show rank by like, so one thing, and I think this would be for the stage 4, would be, and do we have a consistent thing? Yeah, oh no, we don't. Like, so what if we had? Yeah, I think we should do that. So all the other characters have this rule that like the final form has different eyes, and we kind of haven't kept up with that. But I think what would look cool is if we just had the final form of humans have these eyes. Unless they've got something else that's more matching to their character. Just a fun little detail. Yeah, he's got the gold ones. He's got his own thing going on. He's got his own thing going on. He's got the blue ones. He's got his own thing going on. Own thing going on. Yeah, I think it helps give them some kind of intensity. So what we would have is, so that's, okay, so yeah, that's a copy. So this is like the final version, for example, and I just want to muck around with some kind of like blue, like blue fur. How do we make that look like it's, I think it looks like it's coming from the side too much. So while it doesn't feel incredibly intuitive, we kind of really just quickly I mean, maybe just the little one is good. So yeah, how would we go about? I think like the scratches and notches are like a good way to show that he's been through some battle. Right, so as he evolves, he can have more of that. But yeah, I think this is a good look. I mean, this is the best I can do right now. This is one that I would not mind like having to come back to again. I don't think that would be a terrible thing. I think that would only be natural, given the context. That this is the first unit. This is one of the first things you'll see when you start a game. So yeah, I think the scratches are good, but I want to get this like final headpiece right. And if we actually took this kind of color, I mean, maybe it should be blue. getting across what I want to... So it's like a mohawk. And I guess the shape would be like... Let's try that again. Just making loads of these so I can, easily just find the ones that worked, and then so we go up. So we have like the front of it, and then we have the back of it, which quite quickly recedes. That's that's not. Or we have the ponytail. Where we kind of have to very quickly like shuffle it back behind the head, and the ponytail, should we try with that red? Kind of looks good, kind of looks about right, but what if we did it with this blue? O, B, there we are. What if we did it with this blue, and then it's sort of feels very flat and dark, but if we kind of could just give it a bit of a sense of, no, probably best just to not, but then maybe it would look like, with just the two lines it looks awkward. So maybe it is that it wants to be the red. Let's try with the lighter blue. And then we've kind of like... Hello? Yeah. Then we've kind of, I think that might look better. And we've certainly given him like a faction top. So we can pop that on. And or does this one look better? I think this one kind of looks better. Looks more like brutish. Like, I just feel like maybe the perspective there is wrong. Although maybe not. Just try drawing it again. So we'll take another one of these. And we will... Yeah, so we have black. We go like this. I think I might have got it right there. It's a kind of lack of symmetry, but I think symmetry actually is kind of impossible, so we have to do that cartoon thing where it doesn't actually work, but we make it work through like forced perspective. So like the way cartoons like an anime character's nose, it's like actually it can't exist like that in the space, but it's just kind of drawn that way to sort of make an attempt, basically. Okay, I think that's actually closer to the shape we're looking for. Except I think we can kind of come out a little bit here. On both sides. If we made this I think those look better in black actually. Somehow I'm fucking it up. But yeah, I think that looks good. But what's wrong with it? Why does it look weird to me? I think we actually just need like that. I mean, maybe we don't need that at all. Or I should just draw that and then it will be easier for me to imagine what the back of it looks like. So yeah, it goes straight up and then obviously this comes down. No. Or is that just fine as it is? And I think it's kind of unclear what it is. So I think we do need this kind of like fibrousness to it. I don't know if I'm like getting lost in the weeds a bit here. I mean, that's fine. I kind of did my, I've already done my goal for the day. And then, could we make that red? Just so it really stands out. And I'm okay with humans using red as a color in general because their element is fire. So that's why I'm actually thinking maybe it should be more of a fire red. So we just pop a little bit of orange back in there. Bit brighter, but still red. So like what's, yeah, this red. I think that is the red I'm already using. So yeah, is that the red I'm already using? It is. So then we can take a slightly lighter version of that for these parts. It's going to be annoying, but and then that's kind of, yeah, that looks good. And then you've got that kind of blue and red. So the one I'm thinking of from Warcraft has like a golden ponytail, but I think like a sort of Roman, a short little Roman red tuft is good for what we're doing here. So we need to start cleaning these up a bit. So we start here and we want to sort of end up there. So we can keep the thing. We did have, yeah, is that better? No, I don't think it is. I think we got it right here. So that's our final form, except the next form would have, I think, just like a little bit of, so we'll do like an X up here and a little line down here. And then we'll turn this into an X, line here, and then we'll take this, copy this, put that there, and the eyes. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, except I think we can do a bit more with the eyes here. So maybe so if each iteration is a bit angrier or just has more intense eyebrows, doing the wrong one. Okay, so let's take this, go here, what have I done? So we were doing it there, so this one copies over here, and this one copies over here, and this one copies over here, and here too. How do you do anger lines on the nose? You just made him look a bit like a robot, but like, or it looks like a tattoo. But how was like frowning? So if I look up picture of an angry frown, look at the images. So yeah, it's actually like, so it's a line in the middle. That's not quite necessarily straight with I've tried this before and I end up just kind of drawing like an arse. So how can I Make it look like the eyes have tightened. Like we're frowning more. I guess in a way I just kind of want there to be like more intensity there. Like this guy has seen some shit now. So we can go ahead and grab this. And so we go from, hey, hello, I'm a new soldier. Got some nice gear, but still new to the game. To, I've seen some shit now. I've been battered about a couple times. To, yeah, I've seen war. To now I've like seen war and I've ranked up. I'm like a Principe or something. I'm a veteran soldier. And then so then when we go from that to like the knight's gonna be seen to be lacking. But yeah, I think that's essentially what I need to do. It's a fair bit of work, but I need to go and glow up all of the human soldiers so that they look like the human soldiers. They're like the first thing you see. They should really kind of be better than the orcs and the undead. Like currently I think the demons and the undead look the best because they're the last ones that I've done, and you know I'm still very low level artist, so every time I do one, like it doesn't take much XP for me to level up basically. So I've leveled up several times throughout the process of this, and now I've got a much better skill set. So look at that. I mean, look at that. That just looks so whack compared to this. And then this becomes this. And this becomes this. And this becomes this. Oh, much better. Much better. Look at that. It's so whack. It was back when I was like, oh, it doesn't really matter how they look. And it doesn't really, but kind of does. Like, this guy's cool. This guy's been through some shit, you know? Should there be a line here? What does it look? No, I think there should be a line there and here. So we'll just quickly pop that in. But yeah, he's got some intensity in the eyes, but he's mysterious. And all of his kind of mana, his power comes from... and yeah, actually, I think, should we have shading down here? I think it does add a little something. It's not a whole lot, but it's something. Just little corner shades. So that's quite easy just to copy across. And yeah, I think it helps give the helmet a bit more shape. So there we are. Kind of goes from angry to just experienced, you know, kind of teenage anger to like Sakai. Okay, good. All right, so I am going to be brutal and harsh and horrible, and I'm going to just fucking leap these. Bye-bye, old soldier. Hello, new soldier. So now, how do we feel about the ranger? Did I copy an old... Is that... I think this is the right face. So his mouth gets like tighter. And yeah, we were just doing like the bare minimum to get that across. I think the hat's fine, to be honest. I don't think I need to go further with the hat. And I like the fact that it's like the feathers kind of shows you what rank he is. I like the eyebrows. But I wonder if he could have a little bit of hair. So if we took, like... Because at first I just wasn't bothering with hair for the humans, but hair's fine. Yeah. And then behind the head. So he's kind of got something. Let's see. So, what color would his hair be? Should we say it's like similar to... Would it be red hair? I mean, I've kind of made all of these like humans variants of Ginger. This guy's not. This guy's not. The witch is. So yeah, we're repping the gingers here. You know, we like our gingers here. I feel like this guy is blonde. And then we need to actually, sadly, just do this manually. And is this better? Or is this just more noisy? There's a difference. Is this better than our blank guy? Is this something that could be progressive? So if we said, like, this is what his hair looks like when he's level 4. But when he's level... let's just... What if it's just like a little bit of hair to begin with? Yeah, I feel like that kind of adds something. I don't know, because I like not giving them hair because it makes them more sort of generic looking, right? But the hair is also, for this guy, ends up being like a kind of fun way to show power level a bit. I feel like we can just do this in 2 steps. So that's the midpoint. So at some point he grows his hair, and it's like that. So, and he immediately pops a lot more. He immediately has so much more character. Again, compared to the game I was originally making, which was like very, very, like, I don't give a shit about how it looks. Let's just get beans popping around on the screen. To now something a bit more. So we would have shading here. Never mind about the mouth so much. I know that those are different on each iteration. So start with shading, and then we can kind of draw out strands like that, just to let you know that it's hair and not some kind of amorphous blob or bed sheet or something. Yeah. And certainly we would have some shading here under the hat. And then this bit here is going to be mostly shaded. And of course, yeah, I'm going to have to do that copying and pasting again. But, you know, we're just kind of visualizing things as we see them. Visualizing things as we see them. What do I mean by that? Just kind of whacking things on a bit just to sort of see them. Because it really doesn't take long. Yeah, this should finish. This should be a bit stronger, yeah. And then, that's part of his eyebrow, okay. And so we can take that, and actually we need, as part of the hat, I would like to take this color And of course, under his hat and under his hair, he will have shading. And because his hair is not thin and like singular, like the engineers, it's thick and heavy and floppy, we'll do more than just the corners and like a single line. We do nice, decent shading, and this hat comes off the head. It's not tight like a beanie, it is coming right off. And then straight away, and I think we can actually different layer as the eyebrow. Yeah, that gives him something. Nice thick lines all the way around. And I think like there's a lot more going on there, and it's better. And I think this mouth kind of fits him, so I'm just going to copy that over just to try and get like, you know, we're figuring this out as we go. Did I not grab something there? Yeah, that kind of gives him character. So he's got this kind of wide mouth, which will change as we go, but just like, we're drawing this out piece by piece. So let's take the hat here and let's copy that all over here. Except now, so I'm going to make this eyebrow part of the hat layer. Because I think we were doing something, we were onto something here with giving him stronger eyebrows, but also giving him more shade around the eye. Just to, because it's like he's an archer. So his whole thing is like he's going to be staring at things a lot, and I feel like he needs to look like he's been staring at things for a long time. Except, of course, as always, doing it on the wrong fucking layer. But that ends up just becoming that, and then we take this and we put it here. We delete that, and then, no, we need to keep that. We just make a new one. And then we take that. Take that. My mistakes adding work. Nope, I'm so stupid today. Right, so we take that. That's the gonna be the version 2 hat, and then the version 1 hat goes over here. There we go. 1, 2. Yeah, so his eyes have become more intense. How would I denote like a hard chin? They kind of all end up looking like they have big floppy turkey necks. Just because of the shape of the head. But yeah, this mouth is good. It's sort of wide. This guy's got character now. He's got hair. So we can delete that. And then we go to the long hair. With the, we don't need the whites of the eyes yet. So yeah, we need to really redo a lot of this. So I want to take this part of the hat layer and just see if I can copy that over here just to save myself a little bit of time. Yeah. And then we need our off hair color. And we need to shade up this hair. There must be some kind of like algorithm shit I could do to like help me out with a bit of the shading. So if I could just like grab a bit and be like, shade that, you know? Maybe one day. Okay, let's copy what we were doing here because it was working. So yeah, we shade. I think we should be shading like the inner side more. So that is that color. Get this color back down here and we'll shade the bottom side first. We'll kind of clean up a bit of these big blocky bits as we go. And that will do that. Just while I'm looking at it, I'm just kind of not doing anything in any particular order, just doing what I think stands out to me the most. I like the way this guy's shade kind of goes right over his brow. This can actually close. And he's got something to him. Although we can go more hard with the eyes. So we can like really go in with the eyebrows and develop them as we go. So yeah, let's carry on here. Certainly we need this line. Certainly we need these. Line tool. So yeah, I mean, I think this is probably quite healthy work to do, like shading. You know, just to sit in, like, is this relaxing? Am I wasting my time? Whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think it was very important to do this pass here of yeah, just making the humans look a bit nicer before I kind of get too wrapped up in actually making the damn game again. Which of course I'd like to do, wouldn't be a terrible thing, but I think just while I'm in a drawing mood, and then I can kind of look at my list and go, wow, actually, hold on, we're kind of close to the end. Should be nice. Eaten that hairline there. It kind of looks a bit uneven, but I think it looks good. Like I kind of let these mistakes and like natural occurrences happen to get these kind of somewhat random looking hair shapes. I mean, maybe I'll pick up more stuff as I continue doing this to make myself better at it. But so then we just want the same thing to start with. So let's go copy all of that over. Except, of course, yeah, he's got the eyes. And so we can make the eyebrows even more intense here. So let's go to the face. I'll be looking at the hat layer now. Okay, fine. Super eyebrows. I do like me some eyebrows. Okay. And he's not a melee fighter, so he hasn't been hit during his encounters. I don't know if we need more shade on the hat here. I think that probably would make it look better. But we don't need the full. Well, actually, would it kind of like Because there's a softness to the hat, isn't there? So not just corner shades, but an actual like. No, I think we just need like the corners. So I'll have to copy this. But I think it's pretty straightforward copy. I just grab the scalp here. And I think that has added a slight something without being too noisy. A little bit of depth. I mean, do I need to redo this hat shape? I haven't really felt any problems with this hat. Like, I've never looked at this hat and thought, oh, that's a bit basic. Like, I've always looked at it and been like, yeah, that's what we wanted. You know? I'll just quickly. And so now the Ranger looks like this, and it's like it's so different to what we had before. Is it better? Or is it just more? That rhymed. Could be a song. So different to what I had before. Is it better or is it just more? I'll take that. And it's like, it's certainly going to be more colourful. It's certainly got more character. Like, this guy looks like he knows something. This guy looks a lot more interesting than how he looked before. But again, is interesting better? Did we want it to actually just be subtle? You know what? I'm happy with it. Soldier. Ranger. And then as we see this scene fill up with these characters, it's going to be more colourful. I don't know. Yeah. So we recently did the wizard's hair. And we did the shadow under his hat. And we even did the shadow under his hair there, although I forgot to do it for the first layer. And he's now looking a bit more radical. Hat's fine. So we just want to try and copy this over here. Is it on the base layer? Generally think it's better to have the shade from the hair on the layer of the hair, but that's fine. Okay, and can we actually extend this? So if we had this layer here. No, I think it's fine where it is. So yeah, we just need to shade this again, which I think I'll just do manually rather than copying and pasting. I mean, that's good. I wonder if there's like further we have to go with it. What do you think, Cyrus?
What?
Does that look like a wizard?
Yeah, it does. It looks like a wizard.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Hey, there's a shield there.
Yeah, there's a shield.
Get the shield.
Well, I've got the shield. That's why it's there. Because I'm drawing the characters to go in the game. But I'm not very good at drawing.
Why?
Just because I'm not very good at drawing.
Why drawing? Why are you drawing the characters?
Because they need drawing.
Why do they need drawing?
Because if they're not drawn, they won't be there. Okay, do we shade around the beard? Do we black around the beard?
Why don't want to draw around the beard?
Because I want to give the beard a shadow.
Well, no one to give the beard a shadow.
Because when things have shadows, it makes them look more realistic, doesn't it? It gives them more depth. Is that better or is that just noisier?
That's noisier.
It's noisier. It's not actually better. And when his beard is small, so yeah, we can give him lips here. Just do the same kind of protocol. And we can give him a bit of shade under his nose.
Lips.
But then the wizard and the... So this guy... Okay, so I think we can go ahead and we can do a bit more with this guy's mouth. So we can make it... I think his mouth will be less wide. Now, I think his nose would be more pointy.
Why don't want to make a nose? Get the shield. Why did you do that shield? Why did you put that shield?
Because that's the shield that the humans have. Okay, completely changes this guy's character, but it's still character. And then maybe what we can do is... Maybe straight away he has that. And we would need some shading under the nose. Again, just little details that just make it look better.
Why just make it look better?
Well, look, see his nose? Does it look more realistic now that it has that shadow underneath? Right?
Yeah.
It looks more real, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks more real.
It makes the character look like...
Look,
you know?
I've got a crocodile.
Oh, careful, careful. Don't hit me in the
Crocodile.
face with that, please.
Can I sit on you?
Okay, for a bit. Oh, Cyrus, you messed with the thing again. Don't do that. Okay, there we are. Ugh. So give him some lips. See
What?
that?
We'll give him some lips.
Well, again, do you think that makes him look a little bit more real?
Yeah.
So let's just copy that over.
We'll copy that over.
And then does his, like, is he going to get more, like, maybe in the third stage? Yeah. Do we have shading here? No. Yeah, I think it makes him look more real, doesn't it?
Well, I want to put one spike
One spike where?
there.
Oh, the feather.
Yeah.
It's a feather.
Well, I want to put one feather.
Well, he starts with one feather. And then he gets 2,
And then
3, and then a big feather.
and then a big feather. Get that one.
What I'm doing is I'm working on them.
Why are you working on them?
I'm making them.
Why are you making them? I want I want something yummy.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, ask Mummy then.
Want you to give me it?
You want me to give you it? What difference does it make who gives it to you? Does it make a difference who gives it to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind if Mummy gives it to you?
Yeah.
You want Daddy to give it or Mummy to give it? Because Daddy's busy.
Mummy.
Okay. Yeah, this is cool. I mean, maybe we should put the Rangers in masks as well, but I don't want too many masked characters. Does the chin help? I think it does. It kind of makes them look a bit more angular, which for some reason I feel like an archer would. They would have a sharper face. Okay, and then the mage. And this time we are keeping that mouth. He's kept the mouth. The nose straight away can be like he evolves into having this nose. But I think based on the rules I've been doing so far, he should start with this nose. And then finally his nose gets a bit bigger. Or do we just... Oh, what have I done? Oh, just clicked on Unity, that's all. Yeah, I mean, I think that nose actually ends up just... No, it was fine. Bigger nose. Should he start with a bigger nose? I think you can get bigger nose at tier 3. I feel like that's something, like you get a wizard's nose once you've leveled up a bit as a wizard. Or maybe he just starts with the bigger nose. Yeah, I think that's alright. Let's just have him with that nose. Big wizardly nose. And I think straight away his eyebrows will look good if they're blending a bit with the hat. But that guy has character. He looks grim. So if we were to give him cheekbones, I think if anything like... kind of know who I'm thinking of with this. And then... So yeah, cheekbones and like it's how a person who should have a beard look when they don't have a beard. That's what I'm going for with that. But like, just a sort of improvise, or even it can be improvised line on the cheeks and the chin. Helps make the characters look different from each other. I'm not sure exactly what the science is there, but there is a science. Okay, so the shade here works, so we just need to, unfortunately, just manually do it again here. Some like crow's feet. should.
No, I'm not happy, Phoenix. I'm not happy. This is not great. Really.
Yeah, I think that should be where the shadow is, which is a bit of a pain because I now have to.
Not great, mate.
I feel like it doesn't always look better if the shadow's coming over the face like that, coming over the eyes. I feel like it adds something. Am I just being lazy and I don't want to have to redo it? Because here I feel like it would diminish the crow's feet. Yeah. Yeah, it's got character. It's got a lot more going on than he had before. Did I accidentally just duplicate one? So I think we don't need this. But then he gets it pretty quickly. And then he's got his crow's feet and his wizened eyes. He looks great. The red hat being the sort of this is the red of the blue faction. But yeah, I love that the knight's much better now that I've seen it a couple times. It's definitely progression. It's definitely a distinct final form. This guy is like he could be one of the hero characters, which wasn't what I was intending. Okay, so after a day that felt like it was going to get into the burnout territory, we're actually doing pretty well. And these already kind of, so yeah, the priest is a bit too basic, but maybe that's fine. I guess what he should have is maybe some hair, right? He should have some shading under his hat here. But just the corners because it's tight. It's not like or like edges, but not outer corners. Should really be doing this on the hat layer, but it's okay because then I can take it and we go same again here, and then we need. And yeah, I'll do this on the hat layer this time. But actually, I think the priest, he's very simple looking. But yeah, let's give him cheekbones and a chin. Let's just follow our rule set of how we draw a character. Now, I think I can take this and we go. That, oof, yeah, just. Okay. I need to go to the toilet. I'll be right back. Okay, so I think what this guy needs is just, so he needs the cheekbones, and he's got the same mouth as the wizard there, so that needs fixing. What happens if we do this? Fine. Should we give his beard a shade? Yeah, I think that does add depth. Yeah, it looks great. He like ages quite rapidly, actually. I don't know if the magic is helping. Yeah. So this guy, we want him off the bat. Like, I think he can be the one who gets those eyebrows, because everyone else has had their eyebrows quite different. So he can keep these eyebrows, the basics, I call them. He can probably keep that nose too. But where do we get priestly vibes from? I'm thinking of, not that he was the most priestly priest, but I'm thinking of, what's his name from Borgia? And then maybe just a little chin. Kind of adds something, I think. And then I feel like that chin can develop into maybe like a double chin situation. Let's give him the crow's feet. Wiser over time. See, I was just much more like on my first pass. I was just much more like minimalist to a fault, I think, which is fine. I like minimalism, but so he kind of loses his. Let's give him lips. Try something here. Just the most subtle of smiles. Yeah, very subtle. So now he's got cheekbones that add something. This guy, this certainly looks more like a something than it did before. And he's got more like wisdom. So it's just, yeah, it's just a bit more, you know, progressive. Like just a bit better. It's nothing crazy. I don't have to like redo each character from scratch to make sure that they look like, you know, as good as some of the demon characters. Like the demon characters should be like bombastic and interesting looking. But yeah, I think we've got a nice evolution here. He sort of starts as quite this stern priest, and then he kind of chills out a bit, like gets his promotions, kind of finds God, and then he's like, he's happy, he's peaceful. Should he have hair? I don't think so. This can be one of the few dudes without hair. So now we have our rogue. And again, we do not want to just use the same face. And that's cool where he ends up, but again, I think it's not quite enough. So I think this is one of the one, and yeah, that nose isn't going to do it. We don't have to like, no, I think even just that is a different nose. right? But we want to start with we go from there to there. And we can straight away start with more kind of on the face layer. Yeah, just more raised eyebrows, like maybe straight away with the okay. I mean, he kind of looks cool already, but yeah, so stick to the rules, keep it simple, like we know what we're doing. We want cheekbones. First draw. You know, why redo it over and over again? Like, I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but I feel like that fits. So we can copy that along. Yeah, so the cheekbones just adds a little something. I wonder if he should have hair. Or if like the hood is enough. Thing is, we've kind of established where the hairline would be. So you would be able to see some hair creeping out. So, and I think hair is like it's a fairly unique thing to humans, isn't it? In a fantasy world, like, yeah, I mean, compared to like orcs and undead and demons, one of the things that makes humans stand out a bit is hair. What if we really are just going with jet black hair? So let's do that on the hat layer, and I think, yeah, that's kind of what we want. Just like a little bit. We're either doing black or basically black. Like we could do, I can't believe it's not black. So like 10, 15, that'll do it. Yeah, I can't believe it's not black. Just in case we need to change the color later, but it means we just don't need to do too much to it. So then this shade would be and I think hair is one of the ways to give humans character and sort of progressive like rank in ways that you can't really do with the undead. And also I think I've kind of just gotten more confident at drawing hair. That was always kind of a bit of a sticking point for me. It's like, oh, I can't do this. So you need to draw hair. I'm not drawing fucking hair. But then it's actually like you kind of just slowly get better at it until you're like, oh, why doesn't this character have hair? And then you just do some hair and it looks better. Like this guy immediately, oh no, immediately looks better. Okay, so we need to be quite careful with the bits that we're grabbing. Yeah, like that. Okay. So yeah, he's got cheekbones, he's got a little chin. He's got hair. It's shaded. So straight away he's got quite a lot more character. So let's see if we can see what shade... Oh, no. Shading the lips. And the nose does. So the nose would just have literally that. I wonder if this with the mouths is working or if I'm just making things more noisy. Like there was quite something to him having like quite tight sort of lips. No, I think at a distance it kind of looks right. Characters have lips. Lips are a thing. Except this guy doesn't have... I guess he's got a stiff upper lip. This guy doesn't. He's got softer lips. And yeah, he goes from... He's got like a clear progression, I think. Yeah, and he's a rogue. You know, simple. We could give him like a bit of stubble, but I think stubble is quite difficult to do at my sort of resolution and color palette, so I think we're good. Okay, Bannerman. So this is where I was already starting to get a bit better at developing character. Although we have had the same issue of always starting from the same starting point. They always started from here. Oh, eyebrow shading. Is that a thing that we always want to have? Yeah, to a degree. So how does this look? This little line here kind of makes them look slightly happier generally, depending on the visual context. Okay. Right, so the hair is fine. So yeah, this guy's all right. The hair is fine. Where we end up with the eyebrows is good. There was this kind of old thing that was happening where characters would start off exactly the same and then evolve into looking different. But no, this guy should have a different nose. This guy should have a long nose. I feel like this makes him look more noble. It kind of matches his moustache pretty well. Okay, so I think we'll do Bannerman, and then we'll leave Knight, because yeah, I kind of just want to redo this now. Like we you know, we take the evolution from here and we like, you know, create the next rank of soldier. I think the priest is good. The priest looks good because of his simplicity. The rogue looks much better with a bit of hair. Looks much more fun. This guy already looks better with the nose, but we do need to I don't know what's I think this hair at the sides should be there from the beginning. And then the mouth's probably fine. We start with very basic mouth. It evolves, the eyebrows evolve. His hat thing gets more shiny. So I think all we might need is just a bit of shading. Oh, is that... Oh my god, that black isn't black. It's... I can't believe it's not black. I never noticed that. So we take base. We go to the hat. That should be full black. I mean, I don't know if it should really be full black. What I mean is that at least we should be consistent, right? Like maybe all of these blacks should be slightly off black, and that would actually just make them look a bit better. Although probably an easier way to solve that than me going through all of them would just be to take the sprite sheets and just raise the bottom, basically. Mess with the curve. Okay. So we want... So that's black too. Interesting. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get this out of the way. Base, grab that color, go to the hat layer and just shade his hair. Just these, and shade his nose. Oh, that shouldn't be on the hat layer though. Let's just shade his hair and copy that across. And that's step one to making this character, bringing him up to par with the rest. And then a bit on his nose. I think that just always seems to be a good idea. There's a bit of shading on the nose. And then, yeah, under the eyebrow. This guy, he's kind of getting to grips with his duty. Starts as like, oh, hello, I'm a lord. I went to a posh school. And now, oh, I kind of get what the job of a bannerman is now. Like, this is serious business. I've seen battles lost because the banner wasn't in the right place. So, you know, my job's very important, and it makes sense that I'm paid what I get paid. To, like, I shall hold the banner even in death. With just kind of subtle eyebrow shading. And then I think kind of all characters, just as a sort of, when they get to level 3, they should have this. And let's do cheekbones. So is that a thing of like nobles having high cheekbones? Start here, go down, zigzag, and then come on. No, fewer zigzags. Okay, and then chin. And I feel like, and again, like I can't really explain why, but I feel like this is his chin. No. I can't really explain why, but I feel like this just fits for him. And now he kind of looks more noble, doesn't he? So let's paste that across. And, you know, we can always come back to these if we feel like we could do better. But I think that looks good. Okay, and what we can do as well is we can take our hat, and I think we can just take the whole hat here and just paste that along so that they all have that shading. Yeah, and already this is looking way better. Take our chin. Okay. Yeah, and it's just got a lot more character than it had before, I think. I think that's just looks way more like, you know, okay, shade the lips. Yeah, I think this is improving the image overall. Yeah, that's way better than what we had before. Okay, so that is tier 1 humans. And I'm just going to have a quick pass because I should go. Because I need to do some exercise and then I need a little bit of time for myself. Totally redoing this one. But like straight away, what about these colors instead? Instead of the like kind of bright bluish. Yeah, oh god, yeah, that already looks better. Yeah, okay, so that's a go. Just going off my gut here. Not too many of these. Shield bearer, yeah, so that is also a tier 1 unit. And then off metal. But because there's color elsewhere in the picture, like the color doesn't have to come from these dodgy metals anymore. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so we take this color and we make it quite a bit darker. Oh! Oh! Yeah, better. Better. Way better. Okay, lovely. And then we do the same down here. Yeah, that fixes the problem. What if I took this color, because I think this is actually working against that gray, and what if I made that this? And then that brings back some of their color. Right? I think that's good. I think that's good. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I think this actually looks good. It allows it to have like the color of the metal without it being too kind of garish. So actually we don't change this. This is the color. Yeah. Again, Shield Bearer was one of the better creations, but yeah, because he has the cheekbones. He has, although I think I only added that recently. But yeah, we can probably do better with the helmet there. I wonder if the knight should have like no helmet at all. But this feels a bit. I don't know. Maybe that is fine. But maybe we can do like a similar sort of gilding around the visor. So give him the blue visor. And around like the wings of the ears as well. Like just kind of give him that and then kind of extend that with the visor. So he's got the blue sort of shape there. But I think I'm going to need to be creative on this one and think about what actually is the best way to expand this character. I mean, maybe this is fine. I think people like this character. And now that the grey is a bit, the blue is a bit less intense, kind of allows the real blue to shine a bit. And yeah, this guy looks good. This guy looks good, I think. Like compared to this, I sort of wonder if the knight would actually be showing his face now. So this guy, let's take this and don't ask why. I just thought, what does this guy's chin look like? And I came up with that. I didn't really put much thought into it. Maybe that's one to. Yeah, lovely. And that shine is working. I wasn't sure at first, but it is working. And then, yeah, I mean, this guy, shade, cheekbones, eye shade, lips. Looter. Yeah, I think we can just do a whole lot more with the looter. Like, he's meant to be, like, he ended up basically parodying Patches from Dark Souls, from all of those games. But I think I might need to go a bit further. Like, his bloody nose changes. Like, yeah, that's weird. So we can definitely do much better than this. The Bard. Yeah, he kind of starts off where the Bannerman left off. But I think if anyone's gonna have like some nice hair, it would be this guy. And then this guy, the shield bearer, I think we could like give him like full clad armor. In fact, we might say that this guy has. I mean, maybe it's fine actually. I think it's quite good. He's got the bum chin, but maybe he should. It feels a bit weird if the shield bearer has less armor than the others. The witch, I think, is fine in principle. Just needs a bit of a glow up. So we could do some shade under the eyes, shade under the hat, shade under the hair, cheekbones, all that stuff. Berserker, like, again, this is one of the later characters I did, so straight away he has more character to him. So I don't feel he's lacking that. But yeah, cheekbones, chin, hair shade, lips, all that stuff. Change the nose. And then the Fire Witch, kind of, yeah, just a bit of a glow up would be good. And the Blacksmith, same thing. So, yeah, we're getting there. I could sort of call this done for now. So what I will do before I finish today is, so Glow Up Humans is still on the list. Black Bow and Demon Bow description. Let's just do that. It'll be as quick to do as, so let's go upgrades. Black Bow. And what do we say about the bow? Projectile weapon, pierces through, improved range damage and piercing. Yeah, well, let's just copy that. in. So I just want to be able to grab. So let's have all of our bows. No, that's not it. That's not it. None of the units. So if we could just have the relevant parts open, please, and then I can easily navigate around them. So let's go up. So here is our bow. Everything else can be collapsed. So black bow. And then is it just the demon bow? I think it is. Allies, no. Spicy beans, weapons, demon bow, demon shield, no. Mirror, no. That's everything. Okay. Pierces through. I mean, I'm not gonna rewrite these. Like, was that the old auto-generated ones that I had? Because maybe we want to say improved range damage and piercing. I mean, that's kind of where we ended, and that's what we end up there. So yeah, I'll just keep this the same, and then when I do come to rewrite these, I'll rewrite them as a block. Take pierces through large group of enemies. Yeah, I mean, sure. High damage and piercing would do it. Okay. Right, so that would be our... So that can just knock this off the list. Consider smaller wings. Consider different move animation for flying units. I did that. So these are just things we're going to see. I don't need to have these on the list because I'll see them if they're a problem. Replace ghoul with bat. And then basically we've got a little bit of... we just got a little bit of... So this is a bug that I think is not going to be difficult to fix. I think I know what the problem is. I just need to pay attention. Grave robber, not large. Okay, yeah, I think I might have fixed that, but we'll have a look. Buffers appearing less frequently. Yep. Chest can give more upgrades than slots available, so that's a bug. I just need to make sure that it's just going to be a slight alteration to the code that gives you your options when the shield, when the chest is dropped. And then we're into ultimate effects, but basically we want to test and fix. Because, you know, and that'll be the week, basically. We're on Thursday, right? So then tomorrow I should finish glowing up the humans, should be able to fix these things. So tomorrow will be a day of actually playing the game a bit, I think. Testing and fixing, getting bug-free again. And then, yeah, we've got to do these ultimate effects. I am actually going to shuffle these down. Yeah, rework Storm Cloud. I think that's an important one. So we do just need to attack this list at any angle, because anything's off this list will be good, and no particular order. These are the sort of later stuff. Later. Kind of later, I don't know. We'll see if I can figure out what this problem is. It's going to be a eureka moment when I do. But it's not a problem at the moment. It's like I fixed it after the fact. They shouldn't be going on the wrong team. They shouldn't be like messing up with the teams, but they are, and I fixed it. But I still didn't understand why they were like not going to the correct team. But there we are. And then we've got catch up on SFX, which again is something that will come through when I play. Rework Storm Cloud, so I need to get into my design headspace and think about what would be a good lightning weapon as opposed to what happens with fire and ice, like the satisfying version. And then need to animate some ultimate effects. So one is just making rain in general better. Visual AoE effect for each ultimate. Yeah, like every character gets a something, and then we definitely need like big ass slash effect that looks good in slow motion for Jack and Horseless Headman's slash effect. And then any of those in any order, get those off the list, and then we're into the realm of like, oh shit, here we are again. We've got all the content in the game. We're bug free. What should we do next? And it will probably be story. Or no, stages. So let's update builds. I'll do that first, and then we do stages, story. So stages obviously being a big one requires me to do some more drawing and just kind of set up these levels, set up the spawn points and everything. And then story is, story. The map, so there's big ones, and we're talking, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 months plus time to kind of let it breathe to finish this game. So yeah, thank you for anyone who joined me. I really appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow at 9. So have a good evening. Cheers. Bye.